Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most incredible songs of praise in the whole Bible, King David's absolute masterpiece, Psalm 145. We're going to get into what it really means to build a life of authentic, unending praise to God.
And just so you know, this devotional explainer is brought to you by our wonderful friends at the You Need Faith in Jesus team.
All right, let's jump right in. David kicks off Psalm 145 with his huge, powerful vow, I will extol thee, my God, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. You know, this isn't just a casual thought. It's a promise, a declaration from his heart that sets the tone for a lifetime and really an eternity of worship. And this psalm really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? I mean, we all know we're supposed to praise God, but how do we get it to move from being just a routine, something we do on Sunday, to being the very rhythm that our hearts beat to? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore.
The whole journey, it really begins right where David starts, with a personal decision. You see, praise isn't something that just happens to us. It's a conscious, consistent choice we get to make to put God on the throne of our lives.
The very first word David uses is extol. Now, this is not a passive word. It's not just, yeah, God is great. It's an active, enthusiastic decision to lift God high, to celebrate Him, to basically shout His praises from the rooftops.
So let's really dig into this vow, piece by piece. Notice the incredible progression here. It all starts with that personal relationship. He says, my God. Then it moves to submission to his authority, O King. From there, it becomes a daily discipline, every day. And finally, it stretches out into all of eternity, forever and ever. It's just beautiful.
Okay, so why? Why does God deserve this kind of nonstop eternal praise? This is where David shifts from his personal choice to praise to the absolutely mind-blowing reasons for that praise, the character of God himself.
In verse 3, David tells us, "Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable." This right here is the foundation for everything. That word unsearchable, it means we could literally spend all of eternity exploring who God is, and we would never, ever find the end. There's always more of him to discover and always more reasons to praise.
And what's so amazing is the beautiful balance you see in God's nature. On the one hand, you have this unsearchable greatness, his mighty and frankly terrifying power. But then on the other hand, you have this incredibly tender character, gracious, compassionate, slow to anger, and just overflowing with mercy. He's infinitely powerful, yet he's also intimately personal. It's incredible.
Now, let's clear something up. When you see that phrase from verse 6, terrible acts, in the King James English, terrible doesn't mean what we think it means today. It's not horrible. It means awesome, awe-inspiring, even fear-inducing. We're talking about acts of God's power, like parting the Red Sea, that should fill us with this deep, reverent respect for who He is.
So now David shows us something else that's so important. This praise isn't meant to be a secret. It's not just a private thing between you and God. No, it's a legacy. It's like a baton in a relay race that we are meant to receive and then pass on.
I mean, listen to verse 4. One generation shall praise thy works to another. This is it right here. We are each a living, breathing link in this amazing, unbroken chain of praise that stretches from way in the past, right through us, and on into the future. Your story, your testimony, it matters, because it's forging the very next link in that chain.
So here's where it gets really personal for us. We have a totally unique role to play. Verse 10 says that all of creation, the mountains, the oceans, the stars, they praise God just by existing. But we, as His saints, we're called to give a voice to that praise. We are made to actively speak of His glory and make His mighty acts known to everyone. And that, right there, is the very heart of the Great Commission.
And as we talk about this great and mighty King, the psalmist kind of zooms in and reveals just how personal His care for us is. He's not just some distant king on a faraway throne. He's a father who bends down to lift us up. Just listen to this incredible promise in verse 14. The Lord upholdeth all that fall, and raiseth up all those that be bowed down. Think about that. He supports those of us who are stumbling. He raises up those who are crushed by the weight of life, by sorrow or by sin. This is the compassionate heart of our God.
So when you put it all together, what kind of picture do you get? A God who is so intimately involved in our lives. He lifts us up. He provides for us generously. He makes himself accessible. He is near to us when we call on him in truth, and he hears our cries and he saves us. This is the God we get to praise.
So what does this all mean for you and me, right here, right now? Let's bring this ancient, powerful song into our lives today and figure out how we can respond to this amazing invitation.
Here are 4 really simple but powerful steps we can take. First, make your praise personal, a real conversation with my God. Second, make it a daily rhythm, not just a random event. Third, proclaim His goodness. Go share your story. And finally, join the chorus. Realize you're part of something so much bigger than yourself, something eternal. The psalm ends right back where it started, with a personal commitment. In verse 21, David declares, "My mouth shall speak the praise of the Lord, and let all flesh bless His holy name forever and ever." After considering everything about who God is and what He's done, praise is the only logical response. And then He throws the invitation wide open for every single one of us to join Him.
And that really leaves us with this one final thought. That great, eternal chorus, it's already singing. It has been for generations, and it will be for all of eternity. The only question left is, how will you add your unique voice to that song today? Thank you so much for joining us for this devotional explainer. It's been a real privilege to walk through this incredible psalm with you, brought to you by the You Need Faith in Jesus team.